Peace. Hotep, Ashe, Assalamu alaikum, Shalom. Universal greeting of black African power, nigga. Yes. Guess who made it back on the big screen? Your boy Cracker's Eye was back, yo. Look what he talking about this time. Look what General Yohana has his white boy Isupk member talking about right here. Doing a little damage control so he don't look as crackerish. Black power organizations and religions have been historical failures. According to Isupk and they crack a mouthpiece right here. This is very, very disrespectful, man. I had to do this video over because I came a little too powerful the first time. I came a little too hard and I don't want to put that energy out there because I was real serious with it. So I'm going to make this video a little more lightened up. You know? And get my emotions and passion intact right now. And focus it towards the right things. Exposing this cracker ideology that this dude is promoting right here with the help of Isupk. This is blatant disrespect to our recent ancestors. I'm gonna let the video play. I'm glad I found this video because I need to talk about this, homie. So I'm gonna let the video play a little bit and I might come and cut in a little here and there to make some points. So check out this dude Cracker's Eye, Cracker Cow, and what he's spitting for Crackerville right here.
They say if you're scared, go to church because there's nothing but cowards inside. That's because there's nothing but women who aren't supposed to defend the house. You understand that? I never turned to my woman when there was a burglar and said, "Hey babe, I'ma hide in the closet. You go kill him." You understand that? Because there's nothing but effeminate men in there. When the Bible says that the Most High is a man of war.
Now I'm going to deal with this right here. These dudes had the Fox News playbook. I think General Yohana passes that out so they can put their little buzzwords in there to get a rise from us. Or get a rise from people. Now this dude right here is just going to disrespect the black church. One of the first black churches, I think it was the first black church ever in South Carolina. He's just going to ignore the fact that there was 3 brothers in there that got killed that day. He's going to ignore that fact. And he's going to disrespect their souls right now. Disrespect them. Blatantly. That's the cracker coming out in him. That he can do that. And call these 3 men cowards who was trying to protect their women. When people say stuff like that, I just want to imagine your cracker ass in that church. Acting like you black. And this white boy with his gun ready to kill your ass. I bet your cracker pink ass wouldn't have stepped in front of none of them black women and saved their lives. I bet you would have been running just like you ran behind Tazariak's back when Polite was ready to throw their hands up because you called him nigga and disrespected his spiritual father. Yeah, I saw that video. We all saw that video. Oh, you want to come and fight me because I look like you might be able to take me. But you ain't talking that to my big brother Tazariak. That's some bitch shit, yo. If you wasn't a coward, that would have never came out your mouth. You would have just stood your ground. Let's throw the hands up then, homie. You wouldn't have been hiding behind nobody's back, man. Real dudes see right through that, yo. But yeah, I'm going to let you get back into saying how there's no cowards in Isupk. But you're going to disrespect those 3 black men in that church, though. Disrespectful, man.
Why do you think he drowned Pharaoh's army? Why do you think David killed Goliath? Because this book does not have an effeminate spirit like these religions try to give you.
Where did those religions come from? I'm not going to go back to Kemet with it. I'm just saying recently. They come out that Bible, yo. And you one of them. Isupk is just a branch off of that. One of thousands of different religions that come out that Bible. Then you're going to bring up some mythical stories that can't be proven outside of the Bible about the mythical characters, David and Goliath. Like it was a dude named David during those times. And as I recall, David was kind of feminine, wasn't he? Yeah, he had some feminine spirits going on. I'm not going to rehash all of that, but we've been through all of that. And in the Pharaoh, that Pharaoh story, how the Most High did away with the pharaohs, or the Pharaoh, Seti, whoever y'all want to say which one during that time, with a whole little mythological story about the splitting of the Red Sea and all of that craziness. But let's go back to Abraham. Yeah. Let's go back to the forefather of your religion, Abraham. That wasn't kind of feminine. I forgot the wife. I don't know if it was Rachel or Sarah, but wasn't that kind of feminine? How he told Pharaoh that was his sister and not his wife? That was real kind of homo-ish, if you ask me, or real feminine right there. You're going to go in and commit and tell the Pharaoh, oh yeah, this is my sister. And let the Pharaoh holler at your wifey like it's your sister because you scared. And a lot of you dudes got that same spirit in you. So let's talk about that part. Don't try just throwing stuff to fit your story. Tell the whole truth, man. Proceed with the bullshit.
But like I said, I'm going to talk about an organization that most people don't know about. That history has forgotten because their records were destroyed. The majority of their records, if you want to know about them, is actually the NYPD has them. But they stated that they lost the fire, and there's no record of them destroying or deleting the fire. But this is what we're going to do right here. We're going to read this article. Read what you got. We want America's history. There are big black and Hispanic militant groups. There have been black and Hispanic militant groups. We are not the only black and Hispanic militant group that has ever been established. And most of you know about the Black Panthers. And I'm going to touch on them lately. But this right here was the Puerto Rican version of the Black Panthers. For anybody who sat there and said, well...
Now, first of all, if you notice, they don't reference that article. Just keep that in mind. They don't reference no articles. And I see a flaw already when he says Puerto Rican, because it wasn't just Puerto Ricans, it was Chicanos, period. Mexicans, you had all kinds of Hispanics with African ancestry in those groups. And who were the idiot retards? Well, I'm not going to say that, because you might have a real young audience you might be talking to out there. But it should really be common knowledge that there were Chicanos with African ancestry in this Black Power movement. And even before we called it Black Power, they were in the movement. It started around 1959, somewhere around there. The Chicanos started their movement because they were being mistreated by police. And they were being segregated against. But it worked hand in hand with the Black Power movement. Let's not get it twisted, yo. We know damn well you ain't the first militant, quote unquote, militant group to ever hit the shores of America. If somebody don't know that, they need to get on Google, get on somewhere and just do some research, man. They shouldn't be taking this lesson from you because you have no scholarship whatsoever. But I'm going to let you proceed.
Puerto Ricans never tried fighting with us. Meanwhile, who do you think was marching with them down in Ferguson? Who do you think was rioting with them? Who do you think lives in the ghetto with you? If not for Mexicans, if not for Dominicans, if not for Puerto Ricans. All of the tribes lived together and suffered in the ghetto and went into slavery at the hands of this devil. Keep reading. America's history. There have been black and Hispanic militant groups that have arose to fight social injustices. Let this noise back. Only about 4 people. There's about 25 people in the crowd. 5. So out of 25 people, only 5 people have heard of them. Why is that? But I bet, how many of you have heard of the Black Panthers? The whole crowd. You understand? This group has been widely overlooked. Because just like the Black Panthers and other organizations, they too were infiltrated by Cointelpro. Which we're going to get into a little bit of that as well. Read. After World War II ended, massive unemployment for Puerto Rican Jabaros, the immigrants. Now listen good. This also goes overlooked. They call them Hebrews. What does that sound like?
Who called them that?
Hebrews. I'm going to give you a little bit of history on this word. The letter J wasn't invented until the 1700s. You understand that? When you go and look at the end
Dropping
of the word,
jewels, huh?
when you add an O onto a word in Spanish, it makes it masculine. Because Hebrew is a masculine word. They maintained this name when the Spaniards came. There were Taino Indians who ran and fled into the mountains. And they maintained the name, which became bastardized by the Spanish as called Hebrews. If you take away the J and you take away the S and the O, what are you left with? Ibar. That is the ancient Hebrew word for the word Hebrew. If you look up where the word Hebrew came from, if you go in Hebrew and look what Abraham was called, it's going to be Ibar. Another hint that they won't teach you to show you who you truly are. What your language was before Spanish, before they took your identity and started calling you a rich poor. But these Hebrews, these Hebrews, these Israelites from the tribe of Ephraim started migrating over here because the white man destabilized their economy, which is why it's destroyed right now to this day. Massive unemployment goes Puerto Rican, Hebrews, the immigrants, as tomateros, or tomato pickers. Just like the Mexicans do in the South. Just like they do in South America and all those countries where they're working for about, what, like 5 cents a pound or something like that? Like slave labor. As they're over there working from the morning till night, leaving with maybe 65 cents to $1 on what they did. Read. To the United States, migrant camps. In the 1950s, massive migrations continued. And in Chicago, the first Puerto Rican barrios or communities, which the barrios is basically the Hispanic projects. Alright? They migrated there. The Puerto Rican disperser, the majority of them were in New York and in Chicago in the beginning. And these became 2 of the largest Puerto Rican communities even to this day. Read. From the 1960s to 1965, poverty, lack of supervised youth programs, and the destabilization of Latino neighborhood support networks, YMCA, youth athletic clubs returned into hardcore street gangs. So just like they do today, when they shut down your schools and now there's a school-to-prison pipeline, and they start cutting all the extracurricular activities to stimulate your kids' mind and stop them from leaving school at 2:30 and going home to get high, or even having a place for them to go. They started destroying those in the 60s, shutting down the YMCAs. So that the kids around the corner, what do? They turn into gangs. The young lords initially, before they turned into political activists, they were a street gang made to protect their people from crooked cops coming over there and killing their people, just like the initial Black Panthers. Read. The young lords began as a Puerto Rican turf gang in the Chicago neighborhood of Lincoln Park during the 1960s. September 23rd, 1968, reorganized the founder chairman, Jose Jimenez, which his nickname was Cha-Cha. Jose Cha-Cha. Read. The young lords were restructured into a human rights movement for self-determination for Puerto Rico and other nations to facilitate neighborhood control, development, and empowerment. Now, this is their first strike. This is where they went wrong. Because notice it said for other nations. Initially, it was for Black and Hispanics. But then, they started saying, well, the Chinese are minorities. We need to fight for them. Well, there's poor white people in our neighborhood. We need to fight for them. So they started fighting for all the afflicted and oppressed. Let me tell you something. That right there, whether this registers in your mind or not, is strike 1. Because according to this book, let Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. There's always some Christian woman or man who comes out of left field and says, well, what about the white man? They never turn around and say, well, what about the Japanese? What about the North Korean? What about the
He kicked a lot of good knowledge in that. But with that, he brings lies with it to fit his doctrine. Now notice he said blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. When they added on to that, that was the first strike. You just exclude a lot of melanated people that have been oppressed by this cracker. You just boiled it down to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That makes no sense to me. Even the Chinese people you brought up, they probably have more. There's Chinese people, definitely more Chinese people in China and in Asia, period. Oriental people, I'd rather say. There's Orientals that have African ancestry, and a lot of them have way more than you have, way more than your one drop. So you got to expand your scholarship a little bit. I know it don't fit into your cracker doctrine, but you trying to teach people and you misleading people, and you look like the invader. That's just the cherry on top. But I'm gonna let you go with your history lesson about the young lords, who I got much respect for, and I don't see them as failures because they wanted to incorporate all oppressed people in their movement. That's just evolution, yo. That was a smart strategy because it makes your numbers grow, and we can all come under one umbrella, and we need to be doing that today, really. But the problem is people like you who infiltrate the organizations. That's the downfall. That's the big downfall in these organizations, these black power organizations, is infiltrators like you who infiltrate and start spreading falsehoods, or the leadership allows for you to infiltrate the organization so they can make more profits, or they can seem more powerful. Not powerful as us, as a people, but powerful for them themselves as an individual. That's the problem. The problem was not even a lot. The problem was people sold out. The white man gave them a little bit of something and they was like, okay, we good now. But we can't look at it like that no more. If one of us is oppressed and suffering, all of us is oppressed and suffering. That's how we need to look at this right now. We got to be one body. Black people, melanated people need to be one body to get from under this oppressor. After we get from under this oppressor, then we could talk about all that extra stuff. But right now, in this present time, in this day and time right now, we need to be one body. There needs to be some voting going on. We need one political body right here, right now. We need to get all these leaders in these different organizations to come together and we vote on who is going to lead us through the next year. And it's not about worshiping no leader. It's about putting a leader in place that has the betterment of the people as the most important thing. But the problem comes in when we want to separate and differentiate ourselves and act like we're the only organization that can help black people, instead of joining your brother to help fight against this oppressor. It's real simple. It's not real hard, but ego makes it difficult. There's not a lot of us that's on the same page with this teaching right here, with this black power thing, and not even all of us ain't on the same. A lot of people on the same page with the black power, but with this conscious information, quote unquote. It's a lot of melanated black people out here that will fight for that white man quick, fast, and in a hurry. They're not willing to give up their materialistic things and their placement in this society right here for the betterment of all black people. That's what the movement should be about. Getting us all on that same page. Then we can fight about the little bullshit stuff later. Continue.
What about the Hawaiians? They always come back to this bastard right here, to this devil, because this is their God. That's what it boils down to. But let me ask you something. What does the Chinese have to be saved from? Tell me. Because they have a Chinatown in every city around the world. A Chinese man can get off a plane in South America and go find his people.
Is you in Spanish Harlem right now? Think about that.
Thriving. Can you do that? No, you'll find your people starving and dying and being oppressed anywhere you get off. If you go into the Arabian Peninsula, they have their own countries, they have their own currency, they have their own culture, they have their own militaries. If you go into any country around the world, all these other nations have that. Let me go to Puerto Rico. Who are they governed by? Oh, they were taken over by the Spaniards, and then America annexed the state. You understand?
They was taken over by the Spaniards that run through your blood, and the Italians also run through your blood real, real deep. And it's you exposing it. We can hear it in your voice, and we can see it in your gestures, and most of all, we can hear it in your doctrine. How you disrespecting our people, yo.
If we go over to South America, oh, they were taken over by the Spaniards. If we go to the Caribbean, do you understand Jamaica cannot even sell bananas anymore? That is their #1 export. And because they took a loan from the devil and defaulted on it, that means that the market took over and they're getting bananas from somewhere else and will not let Jamaica sell bananas. Because the white man is the devil the Bible speaks about. That's what you got to put in your mind. So what I'm trying to break down to you, when you read this...
That's what you got to put in your mind. Listen to this, man. You got to put in your mind that the white man is some mythical character called the devil. You got to put that in your mind. We got to brainwash and program your mind to be scared of this white devil that has mythological powers. And the only way you could be saved from this mythological devil, pale white devil, the only way to be saved from this powerful mythological devil is by accepting the Lord Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai, whoever you want to name him, into your life. That's the real cracker devil right there. It's mythological, but it's stuck in our program in our head so much that that's the real enemy right there. That doctrine is the enemy. Using fear to get followers. You want to shit on the Black Power movement and say it was failed. This is what this whole video right here is about, really. You want to say the Black Power movement failed because they didn't have Jesus in their lives. Because they didn't follow the laws and commandments like Isupk is doing. So the only way to fight against this white devil is to join General Hamhocks and Cracker Cow in the Isupk, because we the only ones that follow the laws and commandments the right way. Young people don't believe these dopes, man. Don't believe these dopes. They're using fear and Fox 5 News tactics to gain followers and to have an argument mixed in with some truth. I'll give them credit for putting some truth in there. But when you put the truth, you ever seen that Cosby Show episode when I forgot, I think it was Denise, no, it wasn't Denise. Vanessa came home with Dabney, some dude that she just married, but then just threw it on her parents that she just got married. And Dabney was kind of a cool dude. He was probably the kind of dude that Bill Cosby wouldn't mind, or Mr. Huxtable wouldn't mind having in his family, but he said something that resonates right here with this point. Vanessa presented Dabney, took the garbage lid off the garbage, and presented the meal on the garbage lid. That's how they present their truth. They give it to you with some garbage that you got to sift through. And if you don't know any better, they're going to get you. It even reminds me of Dr. Malachi Z. York. He put a book out years ago, Paul, Disciple or Deceiver. He was dropping bombs in that book. And he pulled up a verse about Paul that Paul said, am I a sinner if I give you the lie, but I still gain followers that follow the Most High? Then I'll be a liar for God. That's that cracker mentality. That's what Isupk is doing right now. They're going to give you the lie mixed in with the truth and justify it by saying we giving the Most High more followers. I don't even want to play no more of this video. Right now I just feel the need to pay homage to our ancestors that died, lost their lives, and risked their lives in this fight for their people. No matter what their doctrine was and what they believed in, what God they believed in, they put that aside for the betterment of their people. And I'm not saying you got to put your God aside or your beliefs aside that you believe in. I'm saying you got to just hold on to them and keep them personal with you and don't bring that into this movement. We could do all that after we added this oppression right here. After all our people is added this, then we could deal with all of that extra shit. But I want to pay homage to a few of our black leaders that risk their lives for this information and risk their lives for the opportunity for this cracker to be out here on a megaphone in the streets saying the shit that he's saying. Risk their lives for us to vote that many of us ain't taking advantage of. And I can see why, because we don't have nobody in office. We got to get them in office first. We got to be more political. We owe it to our ancestors to be more political. But I want to say Ashe, Stokely Carmichael, a.k.a. Kwame Ture, Willis Ricks, a.k.a. Mukasa Dada, Martin Delaney, Marcus Garvey, Henry McNeil Turner, Henry Highland Garnett, Edward Wilmot Blyden, Booker T. Washington, Kwame Nkrumah, Carlos Cooks, Elijah Muhammad, Clarence X, Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, Robert F. Williams, Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale, Eldridge Cleaver, Bobby Hutton, Angela Davis, Elaine Brown, Fred Hampton, H. Rap Brown, George Jackson, Geronimo Pratt, Amiri Baraka, Bunchy Carter, Sonia Sanchez, Asada Shakur. Those are just a few who put their lives on the line for us to be able to stand on their shoulders today and keep this black power movement moving. And don't let crackers like Cracker Zal or Cracker Cow and they dark-skinned cracker leaders, General Yohana, stop this movement from moving. We still got a ways to go. We got to take what they gave us and build on it and keep building, and a lot of us are doing it. And I want to give a shout out to those who are doing it. Everybody in the HOK. All of y'all. I want to give a shout out to Sinetta doing it for years. Brother Rich doing it, putting his work in. There's so many. I'm not gonna turn this into a shout out video, but we know who it is. We know who putting that work in. But we got to play our parts and put our work in ourselves. We got to support our people. Support our people that's keeping this movement going. Pan-Africanism and Black Power. That trumps everything for me. All this extra knowledge, it's a good thing. It's fun, you know. Getting there, doing your studies, and being able to argue and debate. That's a fun thing. But if it ain't about Black Power, it's bullshit to me. It's fluff to me. If it ain't about our movement out of this oppression, it's fluff to me. It don't mean much to me. You're not really teaching me that much if you ain't teaching me how to get up out of this oppression, the grasp of this oppressor. And on that note, I'm going to end this video because I don't even want to see no more of this garbage right here. But I had to speak on it. And I want to apologize if I came across too passionate for some people. But that's just how I feel. And this is really, I really toned it down because I had to do this video over. You know, I had to tone it down and come a little more lighthearted. Okay? So, peace and Black Power. Subscribe to the channel. Give me your comments below how you feel about it. And I'm going to do my best to answer all the comments. I'm not going to sit back and watch y'all comment and not say nothing. You know, I'm not gonna hide behind my video and not comment on it. If I see you got a comment down there, no matter how retarded it may look, even if I think it don't even deserve no energy, I'm gonna converse with you, okay? Even you Hispanics and crackers with no African ancestry in your blood, trolling around, I might give you I know who you are. I can tell who you are, but I'll give you a little conversation though. All right. One love, Asha.